Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to the TNA Post Show. As always, I'm joined by the fifth rascal and someone who allegedly has no relation to Steve Macklin, the one and only Burt Macklin.
How's it going?
It's going good, and you?
I'm great. I'm great.
That's good. So, this was the go home show to Sacrifice, and we got quite a few things to talk about. All right. Now, tonight's go home show kicked off with Mustafa Ali versus Kevin Knight. This was a fucking great match. Like, Kevin Knight is a star. If there was any doubt that he wasn't, this match should have silenced those doubters.
Yeah, no, this match, everything you said, I completely agree with. Like, Kevin I is too good, and it was unfortunate that he didn't get the win, and then they took his arm out after the match. So unfortunately, we're not going to see him tomorrow night. But yeah, more Kevin Knight on TV, please.
I agree. We need more Kevin Knight. Like, I feel like he's been floating around Impact here and there over the last year. He needs to come around more.
Yeah, I'm at this point. I'm not going to complain if we see him in tag matches with Kushida or trios matches with whoever, with Sabin or Shelley. But I personally want to just see more Kevin Knight singles matches because I just go back to that match he had with Moose. That was so good, and tonight was no different. Like, yeah, again, just more Kevin Knight, please.
I agree. More Kevin Knight and more Allen Angels, but more on Allen Angels later.
Yes.
So, like, Mustafa Ali wins this, and the Good Hands help him do a 450 splash on Kevin Knight, and then Alex Shelley and even Kushida are out there. So this is going to play into a segment later on in the night. Let's just go ahead and talk about it. So, like, Kevin Knight's getting checked out by medical backstage, and you could see Shelley, Sabin, and Kushida there. And, like, the doctor's telling him that Kevin Knight's obviously not going to be able to compete. So Shelley makes a remark about how he's going to replace Knight because he wants to be there for his friends. And Shelley questions why Sabin wasn't there when he needed him. Now, like, you have to remember, Chris Sabin had a match to prepare for. He main evented against Mustafa Ali in an incredible match. So he wasn't out there. And Shelley asked him not to be there.
See, I want to just rewind a second because to me, it was very curious that Alex Shelley was the one of kind of accusing them because I noticed in that last segment, it took Shelley a long time to get out there to come save Kevin Knight. If I'm remembering right, it just happened. But like Alex Shelley came out there, but it took him a while.
It did.
And like,
it did.
And to me, I just think that they're throwing crumbs out there that this is going to be a heel turn. Like, and it just feels that way. Because you saw Kushida and him arguing after the match.
They did. They were arguing with each other, but we'll get into that right now. So, like, I like how Chris Sabin says that if Alex Shelley keeps acting that way, no one's gonna want to tag with him. And like Alex Shelley says that he didn't think Kushida would throw in the towel, so he's gonna go get the match officially made with Santino Marella. So yeah, seems like they're planning some heel turns. But let's talk about this match. I know we're not going in order of the show, but let's talk about this: the Good Hands versus the Time Splitters. This is a great match, but I did notice a lot of animosity between Kushida and Alex Shelley. Like, if you notice, Alex Shelley was in kind of making it an effort to tag in. It's like he left Kushida in there by himself for a while.
No, he was acting subtly heelish, but at sometimes very obvious.
Yeah, so I wonder if something's gonna go down at that 6-man tag match at Sacrifice.
Yeah, I could totally see Shelley maybe like walking out on them, or just something similar to that. Or if they do lose, him just kind of like turning on him after that. But yeah, I do sense a heel turn coming sooner than later.
I definitely do think, and then like Afterwards, like after the match was over, like they won by submission. Like Alex Shelley was still like arguing with Kushida. So we get a Mustafa Ali in good hands backstage, and basically we find out that Mustafa Ali replaced the good hands with the grizzled young vets because they lost.
But he did thank them for their contributions, which I do like. You know what I mean? That was very respectful of him.
They got replaced.
No, he upgraded. he you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. He went from a motel to a hotel. You know what I mean? He turned in his Kia and got a Ferrari.
Okay, that's an odd comparison, but okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying that the Grizzly Young Veterans. I'm sorry to the Good Hands. I really like them. They're an up and coming team, but the Grizzly Young Veterans are great.
They are. They had an incredible match with ABC. All right. So let's see.
And just real quick, that's no disrespect to Kia. I used to drive one.
Bobby's Kevin Knight match was match against Mustafa Ali. Justice says, yippee, tomorrow sacrifice. Yes. Rose Montana says, hello. Hi, Rose.
Hello.
AO Production says, Ali was thank you, good hands. Good. GYV will take it home. Burt said upgrade.
No, I'll put it perfectly. We got it from here. He's right. We got it from.
Yeah, that's true.
And I really like it. It had me laughing when toward the end of the promo, Skylar's like, well, "What did he say? He's wonderful." When they were like, "He's glorious." He said something very funny.
Because Hodge asked Skylar if they were gonna let that slide, and so Skylar says Ali's good. At least I think he said good.
Yeah, that was so funny. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like the Good Hands aren't bad at all. Like I said, I think they're going to be champs someday in TNA.
Yeah, they are. They should be. All right, so let's rewind a little bit. I know we didn't go in order, but I just felt like those segments were connected that I felt we should have talked about them consecutively.
No, definitely.
All right. We got a Xia Brooks Tasha Steelz vignette, which is just basically about their rivalry and about their match at Sacrifice. It's going to be a 3-way match: Jordan Grace versus Xia Brooks versus Tasha Steelz for that Knockouts title. I really dug this video package.
This was tremendous. Not only did it tell a story of this newly formed this newly cemented rivalry, but it did a good job of them explaining they did cut wonderful promos as well. So this was an A+.
Same. I can't wait for that match. That's going to be a really great match.
Yeah.
We get Ash by Elegance versus Angel Blue. She asked Angel Blue to kiss her boot, and this was a squash match.
This was so good. This act has improved so much in 1 week for me. I don't know. I'm really into this. I think I think she'll be the next Knockouts champ at some point.
I think so too. I think Ash by Elegance, when the time comes, she will be champion. It's just this is the typical TNA style booking. You take someone new and you put them against jobbers, and you slowly integrate them into a storyline.
Yes.
Bobby says it was great to see Ash by Elegance in the ring again. Yeah, she's not bad.
No, she's not. And I was actually thinking during that match, she's actually pretty good. And then just in terms of the fact that, once again, TNA is just much better at taking somebody and just making them look like hiding whatever weaknesses they might have and just showcasing their strengths. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I definitely.
You never got to see much of when she went by Dana Brooke in WWE. It didn't seem like they didn't know what to do with her or had any faith in her. And then just once she gets somewhere where they obviously have a clear plan for her. You know, she looks great out there.
Yeah, I agree, and I definitely, let me see, glad she got signed by TNA. Same. All right, we get a Steve Macklin video message, and he's in a hotel, and he's basically calling out Nick Nemeth, and saying that, where has Nick Nemeth been? That he was right, that he's a phony and a liar. He was asking, where is Nick Nemeth? Where was he in Puerto Rico? He claims that Nick Nemeth fears him, and that he doesn't want to live by a double standard, basically. Like, if Nick Nemeth isn't going to show up, he's not going to show up. And then it's so funny because, like, there's a knock on his door, and it's Nick Nemeth, and Nick Nemeth, like, basically beats him up.
When is this pattern going to stop of wrestlers breaking into other wrestlers' homes / hotels? It goes back to Stone Cold with Brian Pillman. Then you had, I think it was Triple H and Randy Orton's house. You know what I mean? I didn't like this.
You did it? Is it because security? He beat up Steve Macklin?
Where was hotel security?
Where was hotel reception? Like, they're supposed to, like, aren't you supposed to, like, check in the front if you're gonna visit someone?
A lot of these newer hotels, you gotta put your key card up against the door, they won't let you in.
That's true. Cameron Johnson said, was hoping she'd get an opportunity with TNA. Yeah.
Definitely.
That wherever hotel that was, like, that has some flawed security systems. Io says, who slipped Nick's the hotel room number? Right? Exactly. Like, who did that? All right. So we actually forgot to talk about the John Skyler promo, the typical John Skyler promo that he cuts in front before every single one of his matches. He mentions the time splitters, and he says the only thing that's going to split are the time splitters after they lose to the good hands.
Obviously, he knows something we don't. But I agree with him. We just predicted that something's going to happen, so he knows.
Exactly. Cameron says wrestling is the only place where you can commit a felony and get away with it. That is so true. That is so true.
That was a breaking and entering if I've ever seen one.
Right?
That was assault.
We already talked about the good hands versus time splitters. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the Dirty Dangle segment. He's basically talking about him and Ole Prudius dominating not only the TNA tag division, but across the United States. And I like how they start naming, like, the Hall of Famers. And, like, he starts questioning why Josh Alexander wears headgear and stuff like that. This was a funny segment.
There's so many things to highlight in this segment. Well, them continuing to say that their school needs donations. The name is too long it's like the School of Sports Entertainment and Performing Arts or something like that. And the way that he, like, puts together too the different he said, like, Western Union and, like, Venmo and, like, Western Union, like, people are, and then just the funniest part of this whole segment is the end when he says, oh, we don't need a catchphrase, and Prudius says, see what I'm cooking, and I'm thinking to myself, didn't The Rock just trademark that? I hope they don't get sued for that, because The Rock went out there and just pretty much damn near trademarked everything. If people didn't see that. You know what I mean? Everything The Rock's ever said, I think he trademarked. So I was thinking, I'm like, okay, I hope no one's. Well, of course I want people to watch it, but I hope The Rock's like, okay, that was funny. I'll let that one go. That's a freebie.
That was hilarious. Yeah. We get Masha Slamovich versus Danny Luna. While the match itself wasn't a bad match, I did not like the outcome. Danny Luna was victorious over Masha Slamovich, and on Explosion, Jody Threat beat Killer Kelly. Yumi and Lucha used to talk about this all the time. While the tag team champions, sure, they might win the tag matches, but they always lose in singles competition, single non-title matches. That shouldn't be happening, especially with like this being the go-home show to the show.
It'd be one thing if they went and lost to somebody not that they were facing. But when you lose to the I know I do agree with what we used to talk about completely. I don't like necessary L's going into a match, especially when they're champions. But when it's a singles match of the person you're facing, or if it happens to be like a 6-person match and that person gets pinned by the other person that are facing each other, I'm fine with that because you have to continue building that rivalry. You know what I mean? And that match. And the only reason I'll disagree with you is Danny Luna's finisher is dope as fuck. Like I heard that, so I'm happy that they won. I've never seen that move before. And anytime I see a move that I've never seen before, I pop.
Oh my god. Rock and Jericho trademark every damn thing. That's true. So we get PCO versus Allied Angels. I felt for Allied Angels during this. I mean, this was a massacre.
Yeah, I didn't like this either. This made me sad.
Yeah, I felt for Allied Angels. Like, he lost. Like, this match was so quick.
I'm expecting Alan Angels to have a neck brace on the next episode of his show.
Same.
Because then Khan snapped his neck. I don't know how he's going to turn his head for the next couple of days.
He should definitely be rocking that neck brace. Io says, Danny brought it to Masha, upset win. Bobby says, I've always enjoyed watching Allen Angels. I have. Since he came to TNA, I've enjoyed watching Allen Angels. I think he's an incredible talent. He should be X Division champion or Digital Media champion one day.
It'd just be exhausting for us to go on the rant again of how many times TNA has done this. Yeah. When in terms of just they have the best scouting department in wrestling.
They do.
They just know what they're doing in terms of when, like, they always, just because they're not going to get the biggest signing doesn't mean that they're not going to get the right signing.
Exactly. All right, we get right after that match was over, like with the Khan, after he snapped poor Allen Angel's neck, him and PCO were just hitting each other with steel chairs. So their rivalry's clearly not over.
I'm sensing this is going to be a chairs match.
You think?
Yeah, I want to see them bring out the giant chair and just all different types of chairs.
I would think it would be an end with the Monsters Ball match.
You're right. Just because the visual of them, what is the thing, like they lock them up and they don't give them food for, like, isn't that what it is?
Yeah, for 24 hours.
Those segments are always funny. So, but they didn't do that tonight. So I'm thinking I wouldn't want them to rush that match just yet. Same. Just because the first match, if they're going to, it was kind of nothing. So if they're going to build us something like that, yeah, maybe wait till the next show.
I agree. We get Crazy Steve Yannette, and he's basically talking about himself, about how he's a teacher who teaches mystery. Now, he makes reference to his victories over Rhino by saying it doesn't matter if you're a man beast or a kid in a mask, Laredo kid, So I really like this. I'm really digging this Crazy Steve character.
Yeah, this title run's been well deserved, and yeah, definitely. I completely agree with everything you said.
We get an Eric Young in-ring promo, and he's basically talking about how he's going after the world title match, which is on Moose. And then Moose comes out, and he actually went out there and said that why wait until Sacrifice? Why not do it tonight? And in my head, I'm thinking that's not Moose. That's not how his MO. And then, like, who comes out? Myers and Eddie Edwards come out, and they attack Eric Young. Hello? And then, like, Lish comes out. She brings out a chain, and he gets speared with a chain. And then ABC come out to help Eric Young.
First off, I love heels and suits. You know, it's always great. Moose had on some great shoes. Let me just point that out. And then I love him spearing people with the chain. He's done this before, right? He did this to Alex Shelley.
Yeah, he did. Right? That's like because she threw in the towel.
I like this becoming his thing. And let me just say, I'm going to keep praising the contributions of Alicia to this group. I just think she adds so much to the presentation. And I hope that we get our wish when we say that they add another knockout, and let's give her a knockouts tag title run.
Yeah, because I don't think she's going to win the knockout title off of Jordan Grace.
If she did that, if they built to that, that's fine. The only the thing if I ever complain about someone getting like a title match, like it's just because it might happen out of nowhere. So like now that they're using her more, if we get to a few months down the line and the system are still running wild, like dominating TNA, why not put the belt on her? Because I think that they're going towards putting the tag belts on Myers and Edwards. And I always like when a faction has all the gold. I just think that image looks really cool. So I would have no problem with that.
They are definitely going to win the gold tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so. And the only reason they don't, I would just think that something would happen in the match to make a lead to a rematch.
Yeah, I think so. All right, the main event ends up being Dirty Dango versus Josh Alexander. I was a little surprised that this was a main event. But you know what? This was Dirty Dango's best match to date, if you ask me.
I'm glad you pointed that out. And I'm also glad that Tom Hannafin was pointing that out, because the whole time I'm thinking about that, I'm like a casual WWE watcher, especially nowadays. But like I remember a little bit of him in WWE, and I don't think, and maybe the chat can help us out, but I don't remember, and I know you watch WWE, so maybe you can help me out. I don't remember what was his biggest opportunity in WWE. Did he ever hold a singles title?
He beat Chris Jericho in his WrestleMania debut match.
Was he ever like a champion though?
I still think him and Tyler Breeze should have won the tag titles at Backlash. Yeah.
But I was just thinking during this match,
he and Tyler Breeze were NXT champions.
Okay.
Tag team champions.
Okay. I was just thinking the whole time that this probably was his biggest opportunity. And I don't ever remember him having this good of a match. So, to me, as long as he is doing this gimmick that he has, and he's capable of putting on above average matches, and especially when you're in there with Josh Alexander, one of the best in the world, it should be pretty easy to do that. I have no problem with him getting this match, and I enjoyed this match. This was a good match.
It was a good match. IO says the system has a lot of momentum. For a guy who hates pro wrestling, he was pro wrestling. It was great to see Dirty Dango versus Josh Alexander, and he beat Jericho. I mean, he won the tag titles. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I really like his character in TNA.
Same. His character is not for everybody, but he's making it work.
And once again, let's TNA, please, because that's another group I wouldn't mind putting the trios titles on. Get trios belts for TNA. Every company it's just like a way to get more people. Just please. It's not like you need more people. Because it doesn't have to work like that, Just they have enough people. They should have a trios division.
Or let's just need 3 people.
Yeah, or let's seriously partner with New Japan in that area where we start sending some teams over there and they start sending some teams over here. Because there's just so many teams in TNA that I just think that it supports the division.
Speaking of teams, we need knockouts, more knockouts tag teams.
We have 3, and again, I think that that more are coming because okay, like sacrifices tomorrow. I think we could talk. We could go ahead and talk a little bit about it, right?
Yeah.
I could see Camille coming in tomorrow.
I could see that too. Maybe at the end of the triple threat.
Yeah. And then there you go. Like again, that, and also, yeah, no, I think they're going to add some people in that area, and so I think we're in for some surprises tomorrow.
Hopefully, we gotta wait and see.
I think the momentum is still there, and yeah, I think TNA has something in store for us tomorrow. Obviously, in such a short turnaround, that card is great.
Oh, I agree. That's a stacked card.
Yeah. Do we have the matches?
Do you? I don't have the matches.
Okay, let me pull them up.
Give me 1 second.
Because I almost want to say that I think this card is just as good as the last card, maybe even better. Right now, they're 2 for 2 so far in the year.
Sorry, my dog wanted to come into the room. Are you guys the matches?
Yes.
All right, what are the matches?
Hold on.
I thought you. I only know. Okay, well, I know Moose versus Eric
Oh,
Young.
no, sorry, it was just moving. So, okay, so we have Nick Nemeth versus Steve Macklin.
Oof.
Then we have obviously AB. I think that Steve Macklin wins that. I really do. No, I think Nemeth wins just because we're obviously building towards Nemeth getting a title run. And wait a minute, I could have sworn I saw that it was that.
It says, hold on, we should thank Josh for trying a new site of Dango. Yeah. Hashtag thank you, Josh.
I don't think that's right because wasn't it the Rascals and Steve Macklin versus Speedball Mountain?
I think that's at the tapings.
That's at the tape. Okay. So yeah, so we have Steve Macklin versus Nick Nemeth. I do think Nick Nemeth wins just because I think that he is eventually going to face Moose for the title. I don't think it's going to happen after this match because, as Nick Nemeth said, I think he's going to go through the roster until he. Yeah, I think Nemeth wins.
Yeah, Nemeth is winning.
Okay, and then we have ABC versus the System, Eddie Edwards and Myers.
Brian Myers. Like ABC. I do. You know that. I even got myself that new Ace Austin jacket that's on from the website. It's available for pre-order. I bought myself. It has not out yet.
That's dope.
But I think the System always wins. You gotta trust the System. But at the same time, I don't know. I mean, they just defended against the Grizzled Young Vets. I don't know if the System winning at Sacrifice would be good, or if they lose, they get a rematch at Rebellion. But then again, I could see the System winning at Sacrifice and ABC getting the rematch at Rebellion. I'm trying to think what's the bigger match here.
First of all, in either scenario, because now that I just thought about it, I don't want ABC losing the titles at Rebellion because I believe Chris Bay's from Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, he is. He's from Vegas.
And I don't want him. And I think that they're losing tomorrow night, so that means that they would lose the rematch in Las Vegas. But other way, obviously, I don't know what they could do in that situation. But I do think that they're losing tomorrow because I think that they're going to put all the gold on the System.
Tag team division is stacked. He thinks the System is going to beat Bay and Austin. You know what? I'm just going to go with the System.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have the rematch, Josh Alexander versus Hammerstone. And I believe now that Hammerstone is signed, I think he gets the win, and we're headed for a trilogy.
I think I have to agree with you. I agree with you because there's only a handful of people that have pinned Josh Alexander. Moose, Alex Shelley, Will Ospreay. Those three people have pinned Josh. I can see them adding Alex Hammerstone, especially if you want to make him a big deal. This is his first match as a TNA wrestler. What better way to introduce him to everybody than have him beat the longest reigning Impact World Champion, Josh Alexander?
Obviously, you could say, but just real quick, because we were talking about a tag team knockouts division. I can't, because someone just said that the tag team division stacked. This heavyweight division, this world title division is stacked as well. This whole roster is loaded. This is like, again, I think I've been watching since 2009. I think you could stack this roster up against any, going back to that time, you know. Obviously, there's not an AJ Styles caliber yet, but there could be, and a Kurt Angle, but this roster, or a Gail Kim, but this roster is very loaded. I just want to say that. Our next
Hammerstone wins. Hammerstone. Yeah. I gotta give it to Hammerstone. On my nuts, right?
Our next match is Time Machine, and now with obviously Kevin Knight getting injured, it's Chris Sabin, Kushida, and Alex Shelley versus Mustafa Ali, and now the Grizzled Young Vets, because as we talked about earlier, they're better. They upgraded. Mustafa Ali upgraded.
This match is interesting in the sense that I can see Ali and the Grizzled Young Vets winning because I feel like something's going to happen with Alex Shelley. But at the same time, it's like with the good hands, you know, Jason Hodge being like, oh, we're really going to let that slide, makes me believe that maybe they might try to cost Ali the match. But I don't think TNA will let Ali lose a match so quickly. And if he does, he's definitely not going to get pinned here. So I'm going to pick with Ali and the Grizzled Young Vets.
Has Chris Sabin got his rematch yet?
No.
I think Chris Sabin pins Mustafa Ali just because I think he gets his rematch, obviously.
Hey, I can see that.
I just think you have to do something to... Yeah.
The trios match might be match of the night. I agree. Ali and the Grizzled Young Vets.
Okay, our next match is Jordan Grace versus Tasha Steelz versus Xia Brookside. I think this match, and TNA is so good at long-term storytelling. Obviously, I think Jordan Grace wins, but I think she pins Xia. And then that just leads, but I think that, but that still continues the rivalry with her and Sasha, and then also, Tasha, sorry. And then that obviously sets up for her wanting to get her win back against Jordan. But yeah, I think Jordan retains here.
Jordan definitely is going to retain. There's no way she's going to lose that knockout title so quickly after all that publicity she got in January. She beat Giselle Shaw. There's no way she's losing in this three-way match.
Yeah, because I definitely think that they're leading to another Jordan and Giselle Shaw match. That match was so good. I want them to do another one.
Me too. And Giselle Shaw should win the next time. See, even Bobby says Jordan Grace wins.
Okay, our next match is PCO versus Khan in a no disqualification match. So obviously they are doing a match. I expect Khan to win. Khan should win. Because at this point, if they're trying to build Khan, which I think they are, and I think most people would agree, and also at this point, it doesn't hurt PCO to lose. Khan has to win.
I agree. Khan has to win. If they're going to rebuild him up as this monster, PCO can afford to take the loss here. So Khan has to take this.
Our next match is the Knockouts Tag Team match, MK Ultra versus Danny Luna and Jody Threat. You go on this one, because I'm a little torn on this one.
MK Ultra. They just regained the tag titles. There's no reason why they should lose them so quickly.
I'm leaning towards that too, so I think that they get some sort of a victory where they cheat somehow, behind the ref. Because, yeah, they shouldn't lose now, but at the same time, they need to continue this.
Yeah, I agree. They should hold the titles at least up until what's after Rebellion? Is it Summerverse?
They announced it tonight. The one that's in Albany. I forget what someone help us out. I forget what the show after Rebellion was.
Under Siege.
Under Siege. Okay. Yes. MK Ultra, again, I'm going to use the word, they have to win.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way, it's not like I mind the belts changing hands that quickly, but I don't want it to happen again so soon.
Yeah, I agree with you. Khan says Bobby says Khan should win against PCO.
It should be like a dominant win.
I agree. All right, what's the next match?
Our final match is the World Championship match. Moose versus Eric Young. I think this match is very obvious in terms of two things. I think not only does Moose retain, but Eric Young not Eric Young. I think Kazarian cost Eric Young the match. Just because I don't think that rivalry is done. And Eric Young's not going to be the one to take the world title off Moose. Maybe he takes it. Oh, sorry, go.
No, go ahead. Finish it.
I was going to say I would have obviously long-term storytelling, which I love. Maybe Eric Young takes the belt off Kazarian down the line. But yes, no. I think Kazarian cost Eric Young the match.
I think you're right. I think somehow, someway, maybe the system here gets ejected from ringside. And then, Eric Young thinks he's going to win, but who comes out? Frankie Kazarian is going to definitely cost him the match in his home country of Canada. Oh, the booze that Frankie Kazarian is going to get for doing that. But I think it's very obvious, like you said, Moose is definitely retaining here.
I just want to hear Tom Hannafen's reaction. He's so good at being disgusted with the heels. So, because we haven't seen Kazarian since he's been suspended.
Yeah, I can see him wearing like a hoodie. Typical, you're gonna get a disguise. You just put on a hood.
A lot of suspensions lately in wrestling lately. Adam Page got suspended last night. You know what I mean? A lot of suspensions.
I wonder why. Even Bobby says Moose wins. Yeah, Moose is definitely winning.
So that's it. Again, I think that this card is just as good as what a couple weeks ago. You would think that in that time you couldn't put together a card that meant something, but every one of these matches has a story. There's something on the line that leads to whatever's happening next. So yeah, I love this. This should be great.
Same. This is a stacked show. I cannot wait. Sacrifice is going to be good, just as good, maybe just as, if not better, than No Surrender.
Let me just say, right now, TNA is so fetch.
Stop trying to make fetch happen, okay?
No, I'm going to make fetch happen. And if there's one company that can make fetch happen, it's TNA, because TNA is fetch.
Oh my God, you and your Mean Girl references.
Well, my hair's full of secrets. Just like Gretchen Wieners.
Oh my God. All right, as we get ready to wrap up, Burt, where can people find you?
Just on X at BurtMacklin11.
Find me on Twitter at Datila_iLife. I talk about Raw, SmackDown, AEW Dynamite, a Friday Night Rampage, and even TNA Impact. You can see us here every Thursday after TNA Impact. Thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continuing support. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And make sure to join us tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was going to. I didn't forget.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
You're the best. Of course you're
No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night, not immediately after Sacrifice. We're going to be going live at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Mountain Time, 12 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Sacrifice. So make sure you guys tune in, and thank you guys all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow after Sacrifice. Bye.